Welcome to One-on-One with Expert Flyer. I'm your host, Lisa Caslin. And today we're talking to George Hobeika, who is the founder and president of airfare watchdog.com. And if you haven't heard of airfare watchdog.com, I'm surprised if you're traveling, because it's an amazing resource for folks who are looking for low airfare deals and money-saving tips. So I'm honored to have you, George. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you.
Okay. So listen, for those that may not be terribly familiar with Airfare Watchdog, give us a little brief summary highlight of what you guys do.
Well, we search and list unusually low airfares. And even though airlines have consolidated, there are still a lot of unadvertised airfare wars, and some of these deals can be extremely cheap. They're not last-minute fares. They are often for a good long travel period. However, they may only last a few minutes or hours, so you really have to jump on them. And one way we get the word out is through email alerts. You can choose a particular route, not just a particular route, but even airport to airport. So, for example, you can say, I want to go from Washington Dulles or Washington National to London Gatwick or London Heathrow. So we actually let you specify the airport that you'll be flying into and out of in these alerts, and you can also choose the airline. If you don't like a particular airline, if you don't like Spirit or United or American or Delta, whatever, you can eliminate those from the alerts, and we won't send you alerts on those airlines.
Fantastic. And what I like about your service is, I mean, it's unlike, traditional scraping sites. You're using human intelligence to actually vet all these deals, right?
Yes, yeah. We have a staff of 10 people, some of whom are former travel agents, some of whom were former airline employees who know their way around airfares, and they actually choose the deal. So it's I hate to use the word curated, but they're carefully chosen deals.
Okay, cool. So for the novice or non savvy frequent flyer, let's just say, for lack of a better description, what are some of your tips that you tell folks? Okay, if you want to get the best price, here are maybe the best 3 steps you should take.
Well, one thing, you have to search often, and because airfares do go up and down without explanation. There might be 26 different fares on a plane or a flight, and there are only a few seats at each fare level. So once those are gone, we will go to a higher fare level. But if somebody is holding those seats and releases them, then they will go back into the lower fare bucket perhaps, and you can grab them. So another thing that I suggest, unless you're traveling with small children, is to book seats one by one, because there might be one seat at a low fare and the second seat will be at a higher fare, and the airline's going to sell you both seats at the higher fare. They're not going to average them.
Right.
So look one by one. Also, look at one-way fares. A lot of the cheapest fares are half the lowest round-trip price, and it might be better to go out on one airline, maybe on Southwest, for example, and then come back on United. And going to United.com, you won't see that possibility. So always try those one-way fares. And sign up for airfare alerts. You definitely want to get those by email or by Twitter. The hashtag airfare on Twitter is a really good place to look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, I think, so many people are inundated with promotional emails that they're like, please, I don't want to subscribe to any more newsletters. Yeah. But one of the best practices, I think you've talked about this before, is to subscribe to the airlines newsletters, because sometimes you'll find interesting deals that way, right?
Yeah, sometimes you'll find out about deals sooner than anyone else. Sometimes Singapore Airlines, for example, will send their sales to their frequent flyer members first, and then everyone else gets them a day later. And it could be that some of the best seats and fares and routes have been sold out by that time. So not a bad idea. I do think that some of the advertised fares are actually not as good as the unadvertised fares, and that's where Twitter is really helpful. Again, that hashtag airfare. There are about 10 different accounts now that post deals on Twitter under the hashtag airfare symbol. So that's a good place to look.
Okay, that's a great tip. All right. I'm going to ask you one more question. Our subscribers, are frequent flyers. Many of them are business travelers, so they're always looking for ways to maximize their points and get upgrades. There's a lot of, some are myths, some are truth. What are your best practices for getting an upgrade to business class for little to no cost?
Well, these days airlines are selling a lot of their business and first class seats. In many cases, they're non-refundable business and first at reduced fare. So, for example, recently I flew from one way from LA to JFK, and the regular fare was $300 one way on American Airlines. There were business class seats for about $650. But another way, which is a lot less than it used to be, it is non-refundable at that price. But I also, on this trip, I spent it's 15,000 miles and $75 to get a paid upgrade. So that was a pretty good deal. It's a good way to, for $75 and 15,000 miles, I got $375 worth of value. So I upgraded myself that way. I also look for those last-minute upgrades. If you book a ticket, like recently Delta offered me an upgrade for like $100 on a fairly short flight on the app. You can always ask for if there are any upgrades available, when you check in, or look for them at the kiosk. Sometimes there are offers.
Yeah.
But I think the best way really is to, to use your miles. And obviously, if you attain up to your status in the frequent flyer program, they sometimes will give you a free upgrade, but those are getting more and more rare on popular routes. It's really difficult to get the totally free mileage upgrades or coupon upgrades. You really have to pay for it. You basically have to use miles plus cash to get the upgrade. I find, at least on American Airlines on the transcon routes. And final way, people don't believe this. Fine. You're sometimes upgraded. Very rarely if you, for no particular reason. Now, let's say they oversell economy class, and everyone with status has been accommodated with upgrades, which they do. Of course, they go for people with status. Now, I have a real estate agent in Los Angeles, a very lucky young woman. She asked me at dinner the other night. She went to London, and she was in economy class, and she got upgraded to business class on British Airways. And she said, why? And I said, well, will you dress the way you are today?
I was just going to say that.
People do not want to believe this, and that's fine, because you know what? I'll take their upgrade.
Yep.
But if you are dressed way nicer than everyone else, and they need one more person to upgrade, and everyone else looks like a slob, they're not going to put you in business or first class. So they're a well-dressed person. It's just the way it goes. It's happened to me before. It's happened to my real estate agent. It happened to my friend Richard recently on Air Canada. Not recently, but a few years ago on Air Canada.
Yeah.
He was flying from San Francisco to Vancouver, dressed in a business suit, upgrade. He had no status. I had no status in United, and I got upgraded on United because I was looking sharp. And that's the only reason. I'm sorry. People don't want to believe it. I hear it all the time. I want to dress comfortably. Well, you can dress comfortably and still not look like a slob.
Right. And you look like you belong.
You look like, well, the thing is that airline employees, when they dress up, when they fly on a pass, as we famously found out with United Airlines and the leggings incident, there's a dress code. And a lot of these employees remember when you really had to dress up. I used to work for Eastern Airlines many years ago, for 2 years, and you had to wear a suit and tie to fly. A suit and tie. One day, this is a true story, I showed up without the tie, and he put me in the last row. The check-in agent put me in the last row of economy, and first class was empty. And I said, why can't I sit in first class? He said, the way you're dressed, you don't deserve to fly at all. And the way I was dressed was a business suit, nice shoes, no tie. So there are a lot of airline employees who remember those days, and they have suffered. At the hands of the fashion police. And when they see somebody, when they have to upgrade one more person, and I'll tell you another story too. I was flying on American Airlines last year or 2 years ago, and there was a seating problem in economy, and this guy, a young man, never flown business class in his life. He gave up his seat. He switched seats in economy class to accommodate somebody who's making a fuss, basically.
Uh-huh.
And there was a seat next to me, one seat left in business class, and he got it. And I heard the flight attendant say, "Shouldn't we upgrade so and so who has status?" And the gate agent said, "I'm not going to upgrade that kind of behavior," because apparently the guy who was making a fuss was like, executive platinum, was platinum on American,
Mm-hmm.
and he was between a butthole, and they said, "I'm not upgrading him."
Yeah, they're human beings.
Yeah, the upgraded teenager who had never flown business class. He was like, "Well, do I have to pay for this meal?" I said, "No, it's free. Do I have to pay for this drink?" "No, you can drink as much as you want." And he actually did. He actually ate quite a lot. He ate quite a lot on that his first ever business class flight. So be nice is the other way to go upgrade.
That's right. I have heard that before. One other thing I heard recently was that you have a good chance of getting an upgrade to business or a deal on business class during school holidays. Have you heard that? I guess because less business travelers are around and more families are traveling, so they have more.
Possibly. One more thing about getting upgraded: make separate reservations, because they may not want to upgrade two people to get traveling together. They want to separate you, so if you have separate reservations, you may have a better chance of getting upgraded.
Beautiful. Good job. Thank you so much, George. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Have you back again.
Okay, super. Bye.
All right. Enjoy your vacation.
Thanks.
Bye.